let's go for the agenda, please.
Yep. If it's working, yes, it's working. So I don't know, maybe Nicolas, you want to introduce yourself and the partnership, something like that. I didn't put that in the slide.
Yes, for sure. So you didn't put the deck, Jean-Charles, about the partnership?
I don't know. I just put mine.
Okay, good.
To be
No
honest.
problem. No, I can introduce. So I'm responsible for the alliance with Google. I'm dedicated to the Google Alliance for Capgemini, and I'm working with Bérangère Mazodier, who is a partner development executive. And the partnership with Google has more or less 10 years now. And we are the premier status with Google. So it's the first status of the partner that we have. And it allows us to have a lot of advantage and assets. In particular, we have access to a portal that its name is Partner Portal Advantage. And from this portal, you can access to several assets, technical assets, sales assets, and certification, a lot of assets. So do not hesitate to connect to this portal. And Bérangère and myself, we are here to support you in this process. Also, you have access to a lot of fundings with this partner, like other partners, but with Google, you have some funding for pre-sales, post-sales, and also during the implementation of the project. So you have several accelerator for engaging with new clients or for accelerating the cloud consumption. Although we have some accelerator for the delivery of our project. So, and in particular, Jean-Charles is promoting some DAP program, and these programs are very interesting because they are supporting us in delivering our project with high quality, and this is a clear focus we have this year. I think I'm going to stop here, but please do not hesitate to contact myself or Bérangère for any support you will need with Google and engaging with them.
Okay, thank you, Nicolas. So I'm going to start by introducing myself. I'm Jean-Charles Faisancieux. I'm partner engineer at Google. So I'm working as a solution architect and in charge of the relation between Google Cloud and Capgemini. I've been at Google for more than 7 years right now. So I'm one of the old guys at Google Cloud. So for this presentation, I will start by introducing Alphabet. So and try to open you to the kind of value proposition that we have for a very specific customer. So I took some French customer because I'm much aware of this kind of deals and implementation, but there is also this kind of strategic move in other countries. Then we just have a focus on our data platform, what we can call like the unified data cloud from a marketing perspective. But let's say that this is a strong differentiator. It's not the only one why Google Cloud is an important cloud provider, but definitely it's a strong focus that we have with our customers and partners. I will use a small demo that is available. It's open source, so you can deploy it yourself. You can also access it with your partner account. And it's pretty much around BigQuery, which is like the core product of our data platform. And it's highlighting the integration with Gemini, so our LLM for the Gen AI part and be a bit fancy for that. And to finish, I have like a small slide just to give you some links for the access, because you have a lot of training access. You have like a specific website for learning where you can have like all the training that you want, and basically the certification program is part of this website. And if I have the time, like Adrian asked me like 10 minutes ago if I can add some stuff for the agentic area. So I just put 3 slides, and very quickly and very briefly, I will try to explain where we are and where we are going. Okay, so it's gonna be packed. At some time, maybe I will take some shortcuts. And if we have to go deeper, we can do it after. Or yeah, there is a lot of content, so don't feel free. Brace yourself and let's go. Okay, so first, um, the topic was around innovation. So I just put this slide because it's one important part of the culture at Google and now Alphabet at group level. It's what we are calling moonshot in the way that we are adopting innovation program at Google. When we are trying to improve at Google, and that's what we are calling innovation, we don't have so much iterative approach. It's not so much a step-by-step improvement process. It's not the way to gain a 10% increase in revenue or 10% decrease in cost. It's much more ambitious. It's what we are calling moonshot. And so basically, a moonshot, it's a combination of 3 main factors. One, it's supposed to be a huge problem, something that the society is facing, definitely. The second way is that we need to implement a radical solution, so something that hasn't been implemented before. And this solution should use like new technology that are not available on the market. This is a very radical approach, which is leading Google far beyond the simple web search website that the product was 25 years ago. And that mindset is bringing for more than 20 years a lot of value for Google and for the whole ecosystem and the whole society. So we're gonna see how it's manageable to do that. So first of all, from an organizational perspective, when we are trying to achieve moonshot, we are not achieving them at Google. Okay, basically, Google, it's it's a business. So we have like a P&L, like all company, and so we need to earn some money. And so moonshot are definitely an investment layer that are on the side of Google. That's why there is Alphabet, and all the moonshot are specific company that are built for this moonshot. Some it's not just for a moonshot. It's just maybe like Google X and DeepMind that are no part of the same company, Google AI, but it's specific company that have specific goals that are either very specific on an industry. If you look at Waymo, we will go further on Waymo. It's autonomous drive company. And we have like Google X and DeepMind, where more like research labs in AI and innovation. And yes, and Google, it's Google Cloud, yes, but it's also like all the product that you may be using, like Google Search, and mainly the advertisement business around Google Search, but it's also YouTube, it's also all the hardware with the Pixel. And the Chromecast, it's also your phone that may be using Android, which is a very important business for us. You are maybe using Google Maps too. So all these business units are with Google Cloud in the Google business unit. So I took like just some example of what is quite different when we are trying to address moonshots. Okay, I don't know if you are familiar with Waymo, but Waymo is now a driving services. So it's called Waymo One. You can go to the US. It's open in 4 cities, and you can order a taxi like an Uber directly. The only difference is that it's a 100% autonomous vehicle. So it has been like the product maybe started more than 10 years ago. It was a huge research program. So right now it's generability product, I would say, in the IT world since the end of the year. And we have like very interesting feedbacks and on this product. And I just want to share, I don't know if it's going to be easy to have access to you through Teams, but anyway, I'm going to just start. I don't know if you are able to see or if I should put it bigger. I don't know if it's watchable for you.
Yes, way better.
Way better? Okay. So
Yeah, that's
if you look at an autonomous vehicle, definitely the question that everybody had was about the safety, okay? Because you are putting your life into a software developer code, and we all know developers, and so we were all very scary. Anyway, what is very, very important right now is that we are publishing publicly all the resources that we have, all the figure that we have on the safety program. We are not doing it alone. We are doing it with the industry. We are doing it with insurance company. And definitely we have like a lot of proof right now that this system, when they are in a controlled space, like specific cities, under specific condition, okay, maybe not under snow, they are safer than people when they are driving. And so we have a lot of use case. We have everything is recording, and you can. It's very scary to see that definitely an autonomous system is able to prevent some car accident. So we will go deeper on this point after. Okay. The second one is a bit different. It's more just a bit more fun because it's very far away. That's something Google is doing. It's about the robotic. Okay, you don't expect Google to have robotic engineering, but definitely we are building robots too. And so this one is on a very specific topic about the specific agility of robots, and we will go deeper on why it's very important, maybe for much more bigger impact than just Google. And also we have like a kind of operational research team, which doing like mathematical improvement, part of Google AI. And this one, we will go deeper into it because it's about algorithm to improve the routing fleet of boats in the planet, mainly dedicated to limit the ecological impact of the fleet's vessels by improving the routes. So why is it like very different? Let me. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So if you look at it, for Waymo, what we are doing, and it's very at the core culture at Google, is to be sure that everything that we can publish from an academic perspective, we do it. So we are contributing a lot to the innovation, the global innovation of the society by having a academical research, and also by sharing with the community. If you look like the Waymo driver case, okay, it's not just Google that is saying that it's safe. It doesn't mean if it's anything, if it's just us that is publishing this kind of study. It's far more interesting to do it with university that are well aware how to conduct this kind of study, and also to do it with some insurance. So if you look at this one, definitely we have integrated like Stanford University and also Swiss insurance. Maybe there is also this one that I wanted to share. This is all the figure, and they are just amazing. If you look at deeper in details, if you don't think that cars will be autonomous in the future is already yesterday, I would say, for this point. It's happened like 6 months ago. Other way to contribute. So if I take the case for the robotic, yes, we are doing some academical research, and so DeepMind is publishing some paper about the way that we are doing it. But it's not only paper, it's also software that we are sharing to the community. So the software is very usable as an engine to replicate 3D models and help machine learning to be trained on synthetic data with 3D synthetic data. And just for the fun, for the gamer, there is a plugin in Unity too for this kind of tools. And also, it's not only open source, it's also at some point Google can share tools and API. So I'm going to talk about the operational research team. Okay, this is like they are quite famous for many people. They are called the OR tools. So it's like libraries, mathematical libraries that are really efficient to do like optimization, basically for scheduling, for resource management, for packing. And so it's just an open source library that you can use. What is really new right now for a few months, that they are offering some specific APIs. And these specific APIs can be used for specific industries. So this one, if you have like a large workforce, you can improve your scheduling with that. But this one, we opened that like a few minutes ago. It's for the vessels, and based on the different vessels that you have, the different sport that you have, you can forecast and improve your fleet management. And everything that is done, these cases are not related to Google and Google Cloud. It's really the Alphabet part. Oh, just I did something that I should not do. Oh, the crash. Okay, I'm back. So, how do you do business with that? Okay, so we are Alphabet. We have this innovation, and there are many companies in the world that really want to use this kind of innovation. Okay, so as Google Cloud, one of our job is to create the bindings, the partnership with this company to be sure that the Alphabet innovation is integrated into our customers. So I took like 3 samples from 3 French customers. The first one, yes, when I speak about fleet and vessel, there is not so much fleet and vessel management in France, but we have CMS, CGM, and definitely that's one of the user of this kind of solution. The second one, it's Renault. If you look at the operating system that is now integrated in Renault, it's an automotive OS. And so that was a partnership that was at the beginning purely integrated with the Android. And the far beginning was Android Auto. And now it's far more important to have an operating system for the car and not just a way to display your phone on the car. And there are also some connections that are less visible. If you look at the way that you are using Google Pay, maybe. If you are using Google Pay, maybe you need a payment system. And so we are lucky in France and in Europe, we have a local actor, which is called Worldline. And so Google Pay and Worldline are working together as joint company to supply payment system for, once again, mobile phones and Google Pay systems. So this is one of the ways that we are really different on the market, because we are not just a technical supplier from Google Cloud. We are a cloud provider, but not only. We are here also to supply the capabilities of innovation of Alphabet. And our customers are not just doing it because it's valuable. Yes, it is, but it's also a huge leap forward in terms of branding for them. So very often we have like a very strong coverage. I just took like for CMS CGN, for Renault, and for Worldline. So sorry for non-French speakers, but definitely it's inside the Les Echos. Les Echos, it's the main business press in France. And so each time we have important coverage because it's CXO engagement. And it's a strategic partnership that is signed between Google and our customers. And that's why it makes us very different. So right now, so I talk 15 minutes about Alphabet and the way that we are creating value for our customers and creating new solutions. One of the core topics each time that we have this customer is how can we have like the same data stack than Google, and how can we manage the data the same way that Google is doing. Okay, each time it's very ambitious. Each time we are starting from very far away than Google level of execution of engineering, but that's not a problem. We have the technology stack for that. We have the partner and then the ecosystem for that. And so we are helping a customer to have like the better data stack they can, because if they have this data stack, they will be able to innovate, definitely. So yes, Google, we have like a lot of products that are running at high scale, like 10 products with more than 1 billion user per month. Some of them are 2, some of them are 3 billion user per month. So it's huge in terms of data that is generated by Google and generated by our user. If you look at the number of minutes and hour of YouTube video and content that is generated, maybe you are using also Google Photo. It's some figures. There is more than 4 billion photos that are managed by Google Photo every day. Yeah, and we have like one objective for all this infrastructure is to be 100% carbon neutral, which doesn't mean that we don't consume any carbon. Okay, we are carbon neutral, so we try to offset our consumption, but we have a target to be completely carbon efficient in the future. It's 2030, our target. So to do that, we had to create a cloud infrastructure for 25 years. It's now available for customers since I think that almost 15 years. We're starting with App Engine to offer a PaaS solution, but right now we have like a brand and a huge offering for cloud provider. So right now we just focus on the data stack, but there are a lot of other components for infrastructure, for security, and application hosting. So when we talk to customers at the beginning, very often we are facing this kind of situation. It's, I would say, a classical IT organization that need to manage data. So you have like different users that are maybe in different business units, maybe in different teams, maybe sharing the data stack or not. But very often it's very segmented with many silos that are, at least, I would say, when there is one, it's you have the data warehouse somewhere where you are dumping all your transactional data and you are doing some report, okay? More or less with fresh data, more or less in real time, that are consumed more or less just by the BI team or maybe by other people in the organization. More recently, you may have like a data lake that have been set up. It was much more for all the unstructured data that we could not manage easily in the data warehouse. And if you have to publish some data, you have like a data mart access, maybe for a specific line of business or specific reporting or specific dashboarding tools. And you have like all the transactional databases also that you can use for your data analytics needs. And at the bottom, you have the different kind of other services that can use this data. Maybe you have like some specific application or maybe like other partners or other users. So it's very segmented. And like very commonly when we talk to customer, what is blocking them is like, it's very complicated to have access to data and a data that is like coherent with with different silos, because they are very often different metadata, different security governance, so very complicated between the data that is inside the data warehouse and the data lake to be sure that I can access the same user data. All that is related to predictive analytics or real-time analysis, very complicated to set up. And if you want to open the access to the service to not just like the app issue, 10, 50, 100 user, but if you want just to have like an open data sharing access to your company, it's very, very complicated because there is a technical bottleneck. Yes, okay, it's very complicated, but there is also the data governance issue. It's that people are saying, okay, but how can I trust the data? What is the level of access? And how can I categorize the data to be sure that I am not opening the data to the relevant people in my organization? So this is what we are trying to access, to facilitate when we are moving a customer to Google Cloud. I put this reference architecture. It's the simpler one. It's the opening version of what we can do at Google Cloud. Okay. What is really important to understand is that at the core of the data platform, there is BigQuery. Okay. So BigQuery, it's 100% serverless. It's purely running in Google data centers, both on the storage and the compute part. Okay. So you are putting all the data that you want. It's petabyte scales and much more. I think that I don't know any customer in the world that have been facing bottleneck capacity issue for BigQuery. And you can request as much as you want. Okay, so it's really, really open in terms of scalability. Very often what we try to say that don't think in terms of clusters, don't think in terms of instance, okay? It's just one BigQuery, it's an API, okay? And so the way to manage data, you will manage it into BigQuery. So the sooner you put the data in BigQuery, okay? So the ingestion phase here should be the sooner as possible. Do your transformation as best as you can in BigQuery. Do the serving layer also in BigQuery, and after you can export the data. Okay, so I just put 3 layers there because it's very common, like the metallic architecture for data services. But basically, that's what we are trying to achieve in the fastest and simple way. Okay, for ingestion layer, there are always questions about the best way to ingest data in an analytic system. It depends a lot of the source. Okay, if you can have streaming, okay, that's good. You can use like either Kafka or PubSub, which is our own queue system to ingest in real time into BigQuery. That's great. If you need to do some transformation, you can have like this analytics engine, Dataflow, that's gonna help you to transform the data, but you don't have to. Sometimes it's just okay to put raw data into BigQuery and just to do the transformation later in SQL instead of putting a specific real-time engine. But sometimes you may need it if you have like a car monitoring system. Maybe you want to do some detection in real time, and maybe you will have to do it either on the streaming part. Dataflow is great because it's not just only streaming. You can use the same development and put into the batch, and you will have the capability to integrate it. So that's why sometimes you can have a trade-off to Dataflow with or without. And if you just want to integrate data as a batch, we have tools to upload the data like GSUT, but we also have STS, so storage transfer services, will help you to have the synchronization between the on-prem system or another cloud provider system and integrate that into BigQuery through GCS. So basically, that's the data pipeline very often. And after you have the BI system or other analytics system or maybe other transactional system if you need to do reverse RTL or something like that. But basically, that's the core pipeline for the data. And after, you need to have like some transversal and governance. So definitely you need to monitor. You have Google Operation for that. You can use other monitoring tools, but definitely that's doing the job for data platform. You need some orchestration. Okay, here you have like several SQL. You can do it yourself, the orchestration with OnScript, or you can use like a dbt solution, so an open source solution to just do the orchestration at the SQL layer. But very often on top of that, you need to have like a Cloud Composer, which is an orchestrator. It's open source. So we are by default on Google Cloud. This is the kind of component that you will find. If you need to manage all the access and the security, if you need to be sure that at the row level or at the column level or at the table level, you don't have the same people that can access the data, that can process the data. You can have like very fine-grained access managed by Cloud IAM. And you need a governance tool to help you because you can do directly everything in IAM. That may work for that, but you may need some help at some point to facilitate the discovery of the assets. So you may need to offer a data catalog for that. And if you have a data catalog, that can be easier to link the data cataloging capabilities with also the permissioning. So Dataplex is the tool that's gonna help you to have the governance for the access and the data. You can add also quality into the process through Dataplex. And so basically, that's the main component if you have to start a data platform on GCP. Very often, there is much more component. And if we have the time, we will go deeper on all the other components. Okay? So what is really different for BigQuery? So BigQuery, for me, I've been using BigQuery for almost 10 years right now. It's the first one that had this very brilliant thinking at Google to say, okay, we have two different issues. One is we have to store, so we build a storage engine, and the second issue that we have a processing issue, so we're gonna build a processing engine, and the two components will have a specific dedicated network. Okay, petabyte scale. And so if we have to store more data, we have more storage. If we have to process more data, we have more processing. And the allocation gonna be dynamic. So each time you do a request, we're gonna allocate the processing you need. And for the storage, you're gonna pay just for what you use, okay? And we open that with APIs and all the components you may need, either your SDK or your favorite language. And or REST API basically, and it's going to be open and it's free to ingest data. So that was just easy to say like 10 years ago. Right now, it's still a state of the art, and people are just trying to replicate that either on other cloud providers or either like ISV and software solutions. It's a product that has an amazing scales. It's some public figure, so you can take it. Just like yes, there is more than 1 billion queries per day on BigQuery, so it's a messy engine, and with like a growth that is still incredible. We have like very famous customers. So for French, it's a US slide. So for French, what I know quite well is Carrefour. Okay, that is there, is L'Oréal. And we also have Orange. I'm talking about Orange because Capgemini is one of the partners and that is leading the data warehouse migration for Orange. So it has been like pretty successful on that. If you look at other competitors, definitely that if we are not cheaper, it means that there is a trick. Okay, so each time that we need to look at it, because really customers that are using correctly BigQuery are very efficient way to manage their cost. So it's an external analysis, but as all vendors, really take care about this kind of analysis. But just based on my personal experience, it's very rare that we are challenged on the cost. And if we are challenged on the cost, it means that our customer didn't correctly understood the way that BigQuery was working. BigQuery changed a lot over the past few years, I would say. Before it was purely an SQL engine, I would say. So you had like a small SQL interface and you were just doing some requests. Right now, it's a completely different beast, and we will see that more in details. What's changed a lot in terms of it's what we are calling BigQuery Studio. It means that inside the BigQuery console right now, you can add your notebook Python, so you can have like some business users that are doing some Python, so data scientists directly using BigQuery, so that can be really powerful for them. We also have like the transformation that are there, all the data preparation, you can do it. You have a kind of workflow that help you to do staging and the data workflow that I talk about. You can do it directly into BigQuery. You have like some capabilities in terms of displaying of information, like maybe Jean-Christophe, if you can write the question and I will try to answer after. Thank you. So very powerful tool. Okay. Sorry. What's changed a little bit also over the past. Before it was purely what we are doing, it's SQL. So we are doing aggregation. So that's great. We are doing massive aggregation and we are able to calculate average and whatever kind of calculation. And you may have, you can like gigantic table on top of it, almost limitless. So that's great. I was very skeptical 3 or 4 years ago when we started to integrate some ML algorithm, because for me it was definitely not the same kind of user that we are using like BI tools and SQL analytics and doing some ML in top of that. But definitely we saw a massive adoption. That means that integrated into BigQuery, you have like by default a huge capability in terms of machine learning, and you can train and infer your own machine learning model directly into BigQuery on the data that is into BigQuery. And so when I talk about the CLI silo at the beginning, it's a huge way to have directly people that are building machine learning system directly on top of BigQuery, because there is AutoML capabilities, but they are seeing it's the same model that they are using on their own tools that can have directly into BigQuery, and it's very powerful. And so we will see that into the presentation after and the demo at BQM. What's changed like 2 years ago, it's GenAI and LLM was there, and as like we are able to decouple the process and the compute, it was like quite easy for us to add LLM capabilities into BigQuery. At the beginning, I was a bit skeptical, but the more I use it, definitely the more powerful is it. We will say that in the demo. Definitely, it's very easy to call Gemini. So it's the LLM of Google. So Vertex AI is the service that is supplying the LLM. And we can like easily call the LLM with the content that is into BigQuery and do that on a very massive table, and to have like a kind of orchestration that is just basically done by BigQuery. You don't have to script it yourself. You don't have to develop it yourself. You just put your data into BigQuery. You create the connector to the LLM, and you're doing your SQL request, and you have the response and the answer for the LLM from the data that was into the table. And it's incredibly powerful. And it's so much more powerful that you can do it also on unstructured data. So that means that when you have unstructured data, you can put that into an object store. So like a GCS, you are just linking your object store into BigQuery, and you are calling the LLM on top of that, and you can do whatever you want on whatever kind of unstructured data, all from BigQuery. So yes, we have a project with one of your team in the financial team, and also we are using that to do some to process some mail attachment, and instead to do some classical OCR. That is always possible. We are doing it also on this case, but we are doing that from BigQuery. So we just have all the attachments into a JCS bucket, and we are passing this bucket as a table. We are calling BigQuery on it, attaching the LLM model, and putting the inference and the response into another table. And we can have like a very structured way, automatic way, and industrialized way to analyze on all the attachment for an insurance in France. Yes, and I put this slide, but I will not go in detail of that. It's just that there is much more product, much more capabilities. We are able to analyze also data that are on Azure and on Amazon as source, and we can deploy some compute in Azure and Amazon too, if we need to do some jointure, to join some data sets that are in other cloud providers. We have like other system to process the data. We have like other ETL, we have other orchestration capabilities. We have an Hadoop manage also if we need. We have a lot of databases that are really useful for our customer, like Spanner, that is really well integrated with BigQuery, which means that from BigQuery we can request data that are stored in the relational database. We have like way to automate the data movement if we need to, and to keep it fresh. And so we also have all the capabilities of Vertex AI. And if we need to add some specific dashboard, we also have like different BI solution like Looker or just the connected sheets that are part of the workspace solution. And based on that, we also have like the classical enterprise needs that are there. Okay, so I'm gonna now present the demo, okay, maybe 10 minutes. I'm not gonna go very quickly because the good news is that this demo is supposed to be available also for all people at Capgemini, and I will explain to you how you can access, okay? So that demo is called DataBin. So I'm taking some risk because I'm launching everything. So here I'm already logged, but if you're logged, you just have to log with your Google account and with your Capgemini Google account. And I will explain to you if you don't have a Google account with your Capgemini address, you really need to have it. So this is like a web application that has been based to reproduce a real case, like a company that is selling coffee with trucks in different cities in the world. And so we are managing all the data analytics of this fake company. And we are supplying like real-time findings that we can integrate into the operational system to improve the business and the revenue of the company. So this is like I would say like some classical dashboarding that we have there. Okay, it's powered by Looker. Okay, many of time, and all the figures have been powered by BigQuery. After we will see whether it's BQML or either it's GenAI findings. So there we have like some figures, what is forecasted. Okay, it's a bit weird, but let's see what happens in the future. And you have like a kind of findings. These findings there is just created using Gemini. So we are just asking to Gemini to analyze the dashboard and to present the findings, and we will go deeper on that. So here we have some issue in terms of revenue. And we should take care of customer loyalty. So let's see what happens. So that's a Google Map interface. We have like real-time feeding of data. So that's some trucks that have a route. These trucks, they are serving some places and are selling some coffee in these places. Okay. So we try to integrate some way to reroute based on specific events, maybe, or to see if there is some specific loss that we have in the past used to specific events. So if you look at there, it's the past, okay. Oh, there in the past, there were a concert. Justice had the concert in London, and so we missed it. And so we were able to measure, it's pure machine learning algorithm, to say that it was a loss of revenue of $1,000 because we were not there with the trucks. So it's interesting to analyze the past. That very often what the business analytics is. But we can also try to forecast. And if we try to forecast, we were able to integrating some events in a table to say, okay, there is a football game there. Okay, so it's Stamford Bridge. So I think it's Arsenal, but it's playing at Stamford Bridge. And so we can tonight. And so maybe we should reroute the trucks and have like a new route that will integrate Arsenal as part of the delivery. Okay, so that's one of the examples that we can have. Once you have like Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I think so. This is the kind of findings that we want to integrate for our customer. You have like real-time data. You are able to assess what are the next change that will happen and to change your business based on these changes. Okay. And after there is, it's London, so it's maybe raining in the future. So you may need to adapt your routing through. And I was very skeptical, but I look at the code and I will show you that it's working. So they have like working based on the forecast on the weather to integrate, like if there is specific places that are more or less crowded based on the forecast. And so if you look at it, the way it's working, it's quite interesting. So that's why I encourage you to get access to this demo. And after, I will send you the GitHub link if you want to set up it yourself. We have all the components that are explaining the way it's been created, okay? And the way that we have been prompting Gemini to find the best location based on the weather, okay? And so it's quite interesting. Definitely the whole demo, if we want to go in detail, it's more than 1 hour. But what is great is that all the notebook, all the prompting, all the table are available. So you can look at it, you can take inspiration from it, and it's going to be like a great way for you to upskill and to much more understand this use case. So another one. So this one with the weather, yeah, you can change the route based on the forecasted weather. That's interesting. So there is this one also. We have like a kind of way to look at the performance of the product that are there, that are in BigQuery. We're able to understand what products are sold, and so we can look at it and try to understand maybe this one there is a problem with this one. So. Maybe no, that's not what I wanted to show you. Yeah, it's there that you can see it. If you look at the menu, there. Oh, that's not this one that we're losing money. Which one is it? Let me check. That's always the demo. There were the truck. I don't know which one it was. So anyway, we have this product there that is losing money. Okay, so the idea based on that is to say, okay, we have to change something into this product. So either we can try to, we have like a customer base. Maybe we can try to target this customer base. So we are doing some target audience. So it's like a customer segmentation. Very often that's a use case in marketing. So you are trying to target with your customer base and who is supposed to buy your product. And so there we are trying to define an audience. Okay. And based on that, we are trying to push a specific marketing target plan and campaign on the specific product. So you can adapt maybe the language, I don't know, based on the preference of your user, but I don't know if it's working or not. It's working not so much, I think, because in French it's speaking English, but let's say that we are speaking English. So for that, everything it's powered by GenAI. So it means that all this content have been analyzed with GenAI, and we have created and crafted the message based on GenAI with also a generated image. Yeah, you have a specific discount, and so that means that you should very buy this product and trying to raise the consumption. Once again, try to go deeper into the demo because the demo has the asset and you will be able. It was powered like the demo has been done like maybe 1 year ago and completed. I will be like 6 months ago. So they did some very interesting stuff. So there, it's for the building of the data model. So they just created a data model like whatever you are using, like UML or whatever, and they just put this to the image into BigQuery and into Gemini to create the data model, and it's working quite well. So that was a way to automate the creation of the code. And they also been able to improve the generation of the images with different way to improve the images. Because by default, it was like Imagen 2, the quality was not so good. And so you had some specific tricks and everything is documented. So it's very valuable. Right now with Imagen 3, I don't think that you need to do all the crafting and the prompting and the measure that they did for that. So yeah, I'm sending an email and maybe I will have more caption on that. So just to show the global architecture for that, all the data are in BigQuery. I'm not 100% convinced that for real application, real-time application, I will use like BigQuery for 100% of the use case, but definitely for the demo, it's working perfectly, I think. So you are ingesting everything into BigQuery. That's great. You can create images based on the data that are in BigQuery. You can like have the schema generation. That's what I show. You can do the text review. There are many other features that I will not showcase. So that's great. Here you just have a front. And for the analytics part, we are embedding Looker on that. So I'm going to just show you the operational report that have been embedded. So basically, that's a Looker dashboard that is not part of the application. What is quite interesting, I don't know if it will work because it's always the tricks. Let's see. We have now integrated Gemini into Looker. So you're able to have like a kind of automatic explanation of the content of the dashboard. So this dashboard is quite heavy, but business dashboard are very, very heavy. And very often you need to have some people that are writing the explanation of the dashboard and sending a mail with the explanation. So right now we are able to have like some findings automatics and also like to propose some next steps and to guide. And more we are able to have like directly some question that you can talk to your dashboard. Okay, if you know what are the 10 location by sales in the last 6 months as a waterfall. So let's have a look at it. So it will create a waterfall dashboard, okay, over the last 6 months. Yeah, maybe, I hope. 10 location, yeah, supposed to be the 10 location that we have. And we are able to have a deep dive on that, okay. If you look at, if you know Looker, that's just the visualization part, but Looker also have like the engine that you are. So it's a SQL generation based on natural language integrated into Looker. Okay, so this is what I wanted to showcase. So there are a lot of use cases that are powered on this demo. If you want to connect on it, you can use not this one link. I will send the public one, which is this one. And all the assets are under this repo, this repo, data bins. And so you can deploy it by yourself. It's a $1 days when you are doing nothing. So don't forget it, because at the end of the year, that's going to cost much, but definitely a lot of value for a few dollars. And I have like 8 minutes left. So I just wanted, if you need to have access, you have these fantastic links and fantastic small website where you have like, you connect and you have like all the step-by-step to create your account, to register to Partner Advantage, to connect to Cloud Skill Boost, where are the trainings. And if you want to be certified, we will go deeper on that. You can request a voucher. It's free for Capgemini, Google Gift. And we also have a specific website for the certification, and you have the process. So very easy for you to get access to all the content. Partner Cloud Skill Boost. Okay, basic website, e-learning, many contents available. I'm using it as Googler, and there are some learning paths depending of the technology that you have, the skill that you have. This is what I want to talk. We have certification. So I would say that for non-technical people that are not supposed to be connected to the platform and to deploy technical or to design, you can use the foundation. It's just like an introduction to the cloud. So that's great for many, many people. If you are like a junior, you started to work like maybe 1 year or 2 years ago, you are not so much familiar with the cloud. Okay, let's do some associate level, either for cloud engineering or either for data practitioner. Okay, but I would say that if you're an architect, if you're a technical expert, you have been working for years in IT, even you are not a Google Cloud specialist, I think that you need to raise the bar. And so let's go for professional. They are much more accessible than from other cloud provider, I think, from my perspective. And definitely depending of either you are a generalist, so you are a cloud architect, or either you're a specialist either on database or in network or in security or in data, you can go deeper and you will have like a certification that have a lot of value on the market. Very quickly, very important topic for everyone. So you look at the demo, there were a lot of GenAI stuff. If you are not familiar with GenAI, that was not like, it's not just marvelous tricks, it's not just magic. There are a lot of technology behind it. There is this introduction that are great. I think that everybody should do it. Okay, it's not a huge investment, it's few hours. But definitely you will deserve it at the end and you will be much more comfortable for all these topics. If you want to be a professional with GenAI, so we can help you for that. We have a specific learning path on it. We are all targeting, I think, to have a fantastic career. And definitely it's a way that can help you to improve your career. So this is all the access are there. We send you the link. We are creating a specific L400 badge. We decided not to have certification on GenAI because it was changing too often. We can't manage a certification that changes every 6 months. That was basically what we did a badge, and it's much more easier to change and adapt the content with this badge. And basically, it's over. So there is few questions. If I can, I don't know if I have the chance to. Okay, Joe is really awesome and one great strength. Yeah, we will talk about data, these capabilities. I don't think Looker is the best tool for that, but we have like some nice tools, and maybe the Data Studio is a bit better for that. The voucher is very well for every certification. Yes, you don't have to ask for it when you are following the process. One question for now, how is the managed location of the data? I'm thinking export control issue with some customer. Yes, of course. So we are able to guarantee the storage location. It's a buy service that we need to look at it. So Google has region. In each region, we are able to focus where the service is deployed and what is the level of guarantee that we have on the data location at rest and also in service, in use. So definitely, depending on the country, the customer, there are specific regulations, specific industry, but we have a lot of solutions for that. And just like I had a last minute, I tried to sum up in 4 minutes the agentic career that I called very for myself from answer to action. Okay. So if you look at GenAI over the, since ChatGPT, maybe 2 years ago, something to boom, almost 3, I'm not sure I remember, maybe it's 3. Time is flying. We were much more on abilities from LLM to produce content. At the beginning, just text, now images, now video, very accurately. The models are great, and they are great at producing content. The first challenge that we have, it was like to product content that was based on the data and sourced on the data of a company for enterprise company. Okay, because the LLM were trained on public data set, and definitely we can expect that enterprise data are not in public data set, at least. So the first question that we had was just how can we create nice LLMs and nice experience and nice chatbot that are based on the customer data. So the technical answer on that was RAG, so retrieval augmented generation. So if I look at Google, the way that we can manage RAG, I think that we have 10 solutions that can do a RAG. So I would just say that there is 2 ways to do a RAG at Google. One, it's an out-of-the-box solution. It's called Agent Builder. Okay, so Agent Builder is doing all the hidden layer that you need to do a RAG. Okay, so it's a great tool. Fantastic. If you need to do it yourself, either because you want to rely on open source, either because you want to have like some specific control that you can have with Agent Builder, you can do it by yourself. There are open source tools like LangChain, LamianDex, or whatever. You can integrate these tools with some of our API or with some of our product, with some of our components. Okay. And the third component, what was really important with the RAG application, we were calling the embedding. So it's the way that the data is transformed into vectors. And so these vectors are meaningful. And so we're trying to have like all the data stored into vectors, and we're trying to have search that are able to grab the means of the data based on the vectors. Okay, it's purely like the vectors, if they are close or not, it's the same meanings. Okay. So we are lucky because at Google we have like almost all database that we are supporting vectors and vector search. So it was really easy for customers that were using Google to create a RAG application on data that were on Google. If you have data on BigQuery, you can like expose some data that are in BigQuery into vectors, and you can do a vector search into BigQuery, and that's going to be great. But that's just the past right now. and that's going to be still the future for the next months. But definitely, what we are trying to achieve is to have action based on that. Okay, it was not just search data, not just analyze data, not just create content. Okay, it's to be able to have connectors and to have actions. Okay, so what we disclosed like maybe 1 month ago, something like that. It was at end of the last year. It's called Agent Space. So basically, if you look at it, Agent Space from technical perspective, it's just a SaaS in top of the Agent Builder phase 1. Okay, so that all these components that you have to manage yourself, if you're doing to yourself, okay, right now you can have like it. You have it through a web interface. Just you connect your IDP, so your user interface and your user authentication system, and you will have access to Agent Builder. So that's great. Okay. And what we are selling is just that we're gonna support many resources that gonna be useful, okay, to catch information, but also to have action on the system, basically. And so that's gonna be the way for us to add the capability, yes, to search and to have conversation and to have chatbots on top of that, but also to have action into system to definitely bring agents real life. Okay, so right now it's still the beginning. Capgemini is part of the preview, of the private preview. So I'm expecting in the future to talk about Capgemini much more of agent space. And we will have like a 2025 year full of agents and action based on LLMs, definitely. And I think it's over, and it's 6:01.
And it's 6 o'clock. Thanks a lot, Jean-Charles. If you have any other question, don't hesitate to put that into the chat.
Yeah, and you
that.
Feel free either to identify some contacts that are Google Cloud knowledgeable, or just ping me. I will try to route or to answer if I can.
Are the slides shareable?
Yes, they are. I'm doing it. I'm sending it to you. Okay.
Thank you, Jean-Charles, for the presentation. Thanks a lot. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.